Everyone ready? Thank you for coming. I'm Kenneth Corey, the Chief of Department. Joining me is the First Deputy Commissioner, Edward Caban, Assistant Chief Michael Kemper, Commanding Officer of Patrol Bureau Brooklyn South, Deputy Chief Joseph Galata, the Commanding Officer of Detective Bureau Brooklyn South, and Inspector Anthony Marino, the Commanding Officer of the Force Investigation Division. The information that I'm about to provide you is preliminary, as this incident is only a few hours old. Earlier this evening, at approximately 4:47 p.m., uniformed officers from the 69th Precinct responded to a report of a suspect who was wanted for a past crime inside of a Dollar Tree store located at 2120 Rockaway Parkway. Upon arrival, the officers encountered a male in the vestibule of the store where he began to fight with the officers. During the struggle, the male pulled out a firearm and fired at the officers. The officers returned fire and struck the male in the neck. The officers then immediately requested an ambulance and began to render first aid to the male. EMS responded to the scene and transported the 45-year-old male to Brookdale Hospital, where he is listed in critical but stable condition. The two officers, who were not struck by the fired bullets, were transported to an area hospital for an evaluation. A preliminary investigation revealed that the store employees recognized the male from a past larceny and called 911. Prior to the officer's arrival, the male approached the store clerk and attempted to purchase an item. When the store clerk opened the cash register, the suspect pulled out a gun, pointed it at the store clerk, and removed an undetermined amount of money before attempting to flee the location. The officer's body-worn cameras were activated and video is being reviewed. The suspect's firearm was recovered at the scene. Mike. And this investigation remains active and ongoing by the Force Investigation Division in conjunction with our Detective Bureau. I'll now take a few questions.
Set the scene for us. How far apart were the officers and this suspect?
They were physically wrestling at that moment.
Josh, how many shots did the suspect fire and how many did the officer fire?
So the crime scene is still being processed. Right now it appears that the suspect fired at least twice at the officers and that the officers fired twice in return. But again, the crime scene has not been processed yet.
Twice each or twice total as far as you can?
Twice total. One officer. Only one officer fired, and it appears that he fired twice, but it's preliminary.
Suspect fired at least twice?
The suspect fired at least twice.
Can you tell us anything about the officer, how long, is it man or woman?
So there's two officers at the scene. One is a 16-year veteran. He has never before discharged his firearm. The other is a 6-year veteran who has never before discharged his firearm.
And which one fired?
The 16-year veteran.
Allie?
What are the details around the past larceny?
So the past larceny occurred this past Sunday morning, January 2nd at about 10:30 inside the same Dollar Tree location. The suspect entered and removed currency from the cash register.
A stick-up also?
No, in that one, no force was used. When the cashier opened the cash drawer, he reached over and grabbed money out of the cash drawer.
When the suspect was fighting or arguing with the officers at first, what was he saying?
So there was no argument. They are actually in a physical struggle, a fight for their lives at that moment with a man who has a gun in his hand and is firing at them.
Okay, time. Two more. Roger, you good?
As far as you can tell, everything the officers did was by the book?
Right now, there's a lot of investigation to do. This is only a few hours old. But as I said, we have a male in possession of a firearm who fired that firearm at the officers.
Josh, final question?
Last question. Anything about the firearm that you know of?
So what we can tell you right now, because again, the scene is not fully processed, it's a .380 caliber Taurus semi-automatic pistol.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.